Hi everyone, delonewolf here, once again mining a little bit in my trusted machina, and well, I'll watch my ore holes get filled up with some juicy minerals. This is the perfect time, as always, to check out some of the new dev blocks that have been released by CCP, and I'm going to put it on the left of my screen this time a little bit, just so I can see if any pirates come in and I don't have to interrupt so often. But yep, 3 new dev blocks released, so let's have a look what they're all about. Happy, safe, fun time. So let's check that one out first. It's all about the safe log-off system. First of all, this system is pretty straightforward. If you're not doing anything dangerous, you can now opt to log off safely. So just an added feature. You will see a countdown timer on the screen, like in this screenshot. And when it ends, your ship will disappear and you will log off. This of course can help avoid problems like people logging off while in space and then finding themselves back in a pod, because it turns out that their ship was still found while it was in space and still in the process of disappearing. Now there are quite a lot of restrictions to this new system. Basically, if you're doing anything at all in the game, if you're targeted, if you're engaged in any way, you won't be able to log off using this system. It's also right now when you're decloaking or under a gate cloak, which I think is the current method that is still being used to avoid destruction by logging off, which is jumping through a gate and then logging off while under that gate camp. So yeah, this is both a feature to help ensure that you can log off safely while in space if it's really not a means to escape destruction, but if it's really what you want to do, you know, you're out there in space and you're ready to log off, you can do this 100% safely now and be sure that your ship is gone. And on the other hand, they're putting all of these restrictions in order to try and curb as much as possible people that try and use a log off as a way to avoid the destruction of their ship. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, under a gate cloak is the most important one at the moment. That's going to be the biggest change for people that do still abuse logging off a little bit. The next part of this dev block is about the safety system. We already knew this was coming, so not really anything new except for a screenshot showing what it's going to look like. So a new icon on the HUD that will enable you to either put enable safety, partial safety, or disable safety. So disable safety is basically the way we're playing at the moment. You can still do anything, and there comes a Serpentis Initiate. Return to drone bay, and let's get my combat drones out just so we can get taken care of. The only thing I'm not 100% sure about disable safety is if you will still see the pop-up messages, let's say when you're suicide ganking, that you're about to perform an illegal action and that Concord will respond. At the moment I'm not sure whether these pop-up messages will still be here or not. I do think you can set your settings in such a way that they don't show up anyways. But yeah, if people want to suicide gank and after that they want to go and back to play some safely and want to make sure that they don't get concorded by accident, if this either disable and enable safety, you can do it straight from the UI this way. I'm just not sure if this is also going to stop the pop-ups. We'll have to wait and see. Partial safety, basically you can't take any action that will get you concorded, but anything else is still fair game, you know, stealing from someone else's can. And then enable safety, then you can't take any illegal action whatsoever. And under here there's another small screenshot. For instance, when you try and activate your weapons but you're in safety system, you'll get a quick message here that says restricted by safety system. It'll simply stop you from doing that, and the small icon will be blinking and telling you that you have to basically change your settings to disable safety if you want to perform the action you just tried. So pretty interesting dev block, not really anything new, but we got some more screenshots there showing us what the system will look like when it launches. And let's get my mining drones back on there. And move on to the next dev blog. Drone region changes in retribution. So we also knew that this was coming, but once again we get a few more details. So 4 new drone officer spawns will be found in the drone regions. These will then drop 5 new officer modules: drone damage amplifier, drone link augmenter, omnidirectional tracking link, drone navigation computer, and drone control unit. No details on all the stats or the drop rates. CCP is telling us to go and find out for ourselves, either on test server or on TQ when it's finally launched. But these are pretty interesting modules. A way to pimp out your drone ships, why the hell not? For some mission runners, I think this can greatly boost their effectiveness of some of their pimped out ships that do rely on some drone damage. So pretty interesting and good change. On top of that, the rogue drone salvage gets a 2% buff across the board, and all of these changes of course are done in order to try and bring the drone regions in line with the rest of 0.0 in value. It only makes sense, to be honest. You don't really want one region to be completely outperformed by all the other ones. Just bringing them in line a bit more, just so that it still remains at least interesting space to own. It only makes sense. We knew it was coming, and here are some more details on all of that. And then finally, Eon for Plex is the final dev block, so not really retribution or gameplay related, but just a quick word from the guys of the Eon magazine that you can purchase these Eon. One issue for 1 Plex is going to be the price to start out with, and you can simply access that through the account management page. I read that they will send them from their headquarters in London. So yeah, if you're in Europe, you can probably expect these magazines to be delivered pretty quickly. US, Australia, I expect that would take quite a lot more time. But yeah, it's just another functionality added to the Plex system. Good or bad, I guess people that want a magazine and that want to pay it by playing EVE Online may think this is pretty good. On the other hand, keep in mind this is just another Plex sync once again. And the faucets, well, those are your wallets. So yeah, for the price of Plex in EVE Online on the market, this is not such good news. If this takes off, if this becomes popular, then you can expect this to have an impact on the price, which most players that try to pay their account with Plex won't really like. An increase. The more popular this is, the more you can expect Plex prices to rise. Of course, this is not exactly the same as what they did when they allowed people to buy a video card with Plex. We all know how popular that was, sold out in no time. I don't expect it to take such a big leap because of the Eon magazine. Most people that really want it are already subscribed to it. But yeah, if it can increase their business, why not? Unfortunately, for people that pay their account through Plex, this is another another Plex sync that's gonna work against their efforts. So yep, just some extra information here. You can buy Eon magazines through Plex now in the account management page. Interesting, in my opinion, how it's creeping into not just this game, but probably more and more games, how you can purchase real life stuff with in-game currency. It's popping up more and more, and I'm curious to see in general how this is going to evolve. In fact, I think for the MMO scene it's a very interesting time, considering all the price models that are being tested out right now. Just think about PlanetSide 2, completely free to play, and as far as I can see, it's really only cosmetic stuff that you can buy only through the station cash system. But yeah, just for the industry in general, they're testing out everything they can in order to try and monetize their games, find out what's most popular, and this is a part of it, you know. Real life goodies for ISK in EVE Online. Personally, I think we do have to be very careful about what CCP does with this stuff, and yeah, just keep a close eye on it. Not that I have any problem with the Eon magazine for Plex. After all, it's just a part of the free market. But it is of course a growing trend, and one that I think it's important for players to keep an eye on and to make sure that they keep the developers honest in all of these systems. We don't want to pay to win. I think that's been made very clear to CCP, and let's hope it never comes there. Anyways, yeah, the other 2 dev blogs, some nice extra information on Retribution, and I'll see you all next time.